like to welcome everybody to Voice of America Park for the 2017 edition of the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. You can see everybody warming up, going through their last minute runouts. This is the girls 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 race. Be run together and scored separately. See all the girls lining up. Got two camera angles on this. The inset at the top is from behind the start. And simultaneously we're bringing you the front view as well. You see all the girls going through the last minute shakeout. About 3 minutes before the start of the race. It's going to be a competitive race. I'm going to take you to a map of the course. Now the course had to be changed at the last minute. We'll explain those changes. Here's the course map. You start in the same spot up in the top left-hand corner. You run down, and you were going to run all the way down, and that whole down section there has been cut out. Instead, you're going to cut across and run along the blue line. And you're going to do that blue line twice. You can see the yellow line that they were going to cut off a section, but instead of doing that bottom section, which is really super wet, it's going to be just the blue section twice, and then in on the yellow line in behind the start, straight on into the finish. It's essentially the same 5K course, just had to cut out for safety reasons a portion of the course, and really it was essentially submerged. Should be about time to start the race. We'll be taking you back to the start of the race. The main screen is the front, and they're off. Start of the 2017 Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. The front and the rear view. Here at Voice of America Park. It's the first of many races that we'll be conducting here today. This section of the course is just before the mile mark. This is on the bottom straightaway before it loops up. You can see got a ton of Brokaw Blazers there in the front. Looks like we have two in the front actually. That might be not quite familiar. Looks like a accelerator uniform. Hard to see. We'll identify them later. Looks like some Team Kentucky. You can hear them just run by how mushy it is. Got 3 Team Kentucky girls, and then a whole pack. Team to beat, Brokaw Blazers. They've dominated in the older divisions. Last year, the top performer in the 17-18-year-old girls was Gabby Reyna, running for Brokaw Blazers. She had planned to run for Wichita State, the Shockers. Second place in the 17-18-year-olds last year was Amber Reed, a 17-year-old. Third place, Alyssa Solberg, running for Jinx America. In fourth place, Caitlin Alexander, 17-year-old last year, running for Jinx America. Top 4 last year, as is typical. Top 3 teams battling it out in this age division. Brokaw Blazers, Jinx America, Team Kentucky. Expect all of those to really perform well today. We have about 20 different teams represented in this race today. We have about 100 girls, a little less than 100 girls, but we have 20 teams. Just going through some of those teams: St. Louis Blazers, Seashore Striders, Sovereign Grace, Knights. Okay, now we're coming. It's race time 7:10. Just a little bit past the mile mark, I believe. Kind of difficult to ascertain on this modified course. Didn't have a chance to really wheel it out, but best I can calculate, just past the mile mark. See our front runner starting to separate a little bit. Two Brokaw Blazers in the front.
Stay together. Stay together. Keep moving. Great job. Great job. There
Going
you go.
through the teams that are here.
Great job. Good left arm.
Got the Knights and the Sharks. Not quite sure where they're from.
Great job. Great job.
Southern Indiana Catholic. Indiana Blast. They've done well in the past in this national championship. Nashville U. Kentucky Fusion. Running Tigers. Of course, the Belvedere Tornadoes. I believe they are about 50 runners strong here today.
Good arms. Good arms.
Elgin Road Warriors. Don't know if there are any affiliation with the Elgin Sharks or not.
There you go, Grace.
Louisville Tiger Sharks. They've done really well in the lower divisions.
Good job, Grace.
Of course, we've mentioned Jinx America, Team Kentucky Brokaw Blazers.
Good job, Brooke.
Indiana Cal Striders.
Gradually move up.
Southern Indiana Running Club. Just to name a few of the teams that are all competing here today. We're just past the mile mark. See all the runners going by. Sections of the course are a little bit soupy. Hope we can make it through the day. Talking about a 70% chance of bad weather today, so run the risk of it just getting really messy out here today. But right now, a little on the warm side.
Good job, Emily.
Everybody is prepared for cold weather, but this morning, about 5:30, it was 55 degrees, and I believe it's rising in temperature a little bit. Be giving you the race time in here in just a moment.
Race time 9:30.
Race time 9 minutes 30 seconds into the race. You're watching middle of the pack of the race right now. We'll be taking you to the front runners here in just a moment. You're watching the 17 and 18-year-old girls and the 15, 16-year-old girls combined 5K race here at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. Mentioned a little bit about last year's 17, 18-year-old girls. This year's 17, 18, or last year's 15, 16-year-old girls. First place was Olivia Sovereign, running for Brokaw Blazers. Second place, Maisie Larson, also with Brokaw. Third, Sophia McDaniel from Accelerators. Fourth, Riley Rigdon, Jinx America. In that age division last year is Brokaw Blazers, Team Kentucky, Jinx America, 1, 2, 3. That was last year's race. 2 years ago, we were at Masterson Station. We'll be bringing you some of those statistics from that event. Getting ready to go to the front runners again. Okay, we got two girls in the front here. Looks like Riley Beach from Brokaw Blazers is leading. Olivia Sovereign is second. Coming around here. Actually, they're just side by side right now, pacing each other. Two teammates, followed by a chase of two. Then a pack of 3 and then a long stream of runners. A little bit about our front runners. Front runner Riley Beach. She was first in Class 6A in Kansas this year at the famous Rimrock Farm Invitational. She was fifth. That's Riley Beach. She's in the lead as she ran by here. We're right around approximately the 2 mile mark, maybe a little bit in front of the 2 mile mark. Olivia Sovereign, who was essentially neck and neck with Riley at this point. She runs from St. Thomas Aquinas, also a Kansas product. She was first in Kansas State cross country meet in Division 5-3A, or 5A rather. So 2 state champions neck and neck at this point in the race. Region winner In the Eastern Kansas League, she was second. She's already competed at Nike Cross Nationals, one of the top performers in that event, just last weekend. 2016, Olivia was first at the state meet, and then 2015 in Kansas, she was the runner-up. We're taking you straight on into the finish. Oh my goodness, they're running in. Looks like Olivia Sovereign just barely beat out Riley Beach. Be the top performer today. A third runner that just came across the line, Indiana Cal Striders, believe that's Jordan Boyer. Fourth runner, another Brokaw Blazer, Haley Johnson. She's the first in the 17-18 division, I believe. That fifth girl just came across, Ava Giuliana, Indiana Cal Striders. Indiana Cal Striders may do well in the final team score. We'll just have to see how it all turns out. Some of the teams don't have 5 full runners. Must have 5 to have a team score. We'll see, bring you those results here in just a little bit. Brokaw Blazers have just dominated in both the 15, 16, 17, 18 team scores for years, but back in 2015, Team Eagles actually won the 15-16 girls race. That was in Masterson. Top performer in the 15-16 that year was Rebecca Geddes from Brokaw, Ellie Gilbreth from Jinx America, and then had a 3-4 combination of Abby Little and Natalie Graber, both running for Team Eagles, and then, of course, the third, fourth, and fifth runner helped clinch it for Team Eagles. They were first that year. Brokaw was second. Team Kentucky third. Top 3 teams received trophies. In 2015, Jinx America was fourth, and Indiana Blast was fifth, and that's in the 15-16 age group. That year, in 2015, in the 17-18-year-old girls, Cameron Gelbner from Brokaw was first, Gabby Reyna second from Brokaw, third, Caitlin Shoemaker, Brokaw, and fourth, Alyssa Solberg, Jinx America. Brokaw was on top in 15 in the 17-18 girls division, Jinx America second. Out in Oklahoma, Jinx America is where they hail from, Team Kentucky and Indiana Blast, rounding out the top 4 in 2015. Interesting finish to this race. When we were right around the 2-mile mark, they were neck and neck, Riley Beach and Olivia Sovereign, but looks like Sovereign just beat out Beach to be the national champion in the 15-16 girls. Beach runner-up, both of them state champions, different divisions out of Kansas. We'll be grabbing an interview with those girls after the completion of this race. This race has really seen some top talent. In 2014, Michaela Reinhardt, running for a Bowling Green team, I believe. She was first, 15-16 year division, or age group. And Emily Venter second. Many of you may recall Renee Sebeck. She was 7th that year. Shelby Watkins was 8th that year. Shelby's running for Morehead State University now. Team score that year in Nashville was Brokaw first, Team Kentucky second. In 17-18-year-old division, Grace Clausen out of Brokaw was first. Ashton Henson, teammate second. Lauren Harrell third, and fourth was Rebecca Topham. Many of you all that have remembered this, old Rebecca was a great champion from cross country coach, national youth champion events in the past. In that particular year, Rebecca was 4th, but she just dominated over the years, gradually gone on. Brokaw was 1st in that 17-18 age division in 2014 with Bowling Green Lightning 2nd. I don't believe that team exists anymore. At least they're not competing here today. That's the one Michaela Reinhardt ran with. Belvedere Tornadoes were 3rd. As I mentioned earlier, they're about 50 runners strong today, and Team Kentucky was 4th. The top of this race was just all Kansas today. 2 state champions were battling it out. A few more runners to come in, and we'll take you to an interview with our top performers, and then on to a portion of the award ceremony. You're watching the 15, 16, and 17 and 18 girls 5K competition here at Voice of America Park in the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship, 2017 edition. Last time we were here was 2008. A lot more vegetation on the course this year than when we were here in 2008. In between the race areas, there's a whole lot of brush that's grown up. If I recall, back in 2008, there was not a lot of a wind break. It was pretty windy that year. We'll be taking you to an interview. And now an interview with our top 2 performers today in this competition.
Okay. Olivia, congratulations. You're the new national champion. Tell me a little bit about your race today.
Honestly, I was just trying to work together with Riley. We were going back and forth into the wind, trying to go through that mud. Some parts was a little tricky, and that's okay. It worked out okay.
Riley, it was back and forth between you and Olivia today?
Yeah, always friendly competition helps me go faster. She's made me such a better runner this year, so I'm really glad that we got to compete in this race, and either the turnout, I was happy.
Well, great. Now, you're both from the same town in Kansas, correct?
Yeah.
What community is that?
I go to St. Thomas Aquinas High School, and I go to Blue Valley Northwest High School.
Okay. And what grade are you all in school?
I'm a junior. I'm a freshman.
Well, congratulations today, ladies. Tell me a little bit about your high school season. How did it end up?
Pretty good. I ended up winning state for the 2nd year in a row this year.
Oh, great.
For 5A in Kansas.
That's the big schools, right?
This is almost the biggest school.
Oh, okay. So it goes up to 6A
Yeah.
and okay.
So I won EKL, which is the Kansas League. I barely beat this girl out, so it was a great race. It was just like this race. I won regionals, and then I won finally 6A state.
Well, congratulations to both of you today. Had a good high school season, and you ended it with a national championship and a runner-up here today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In 23rd, Lily King. In 22nd, Camille Buchanan. 21st is Amber Stewart. In 20th is Kristen Dent. In 19th place, Hannah Martin.
Where's my Jimmy Johnson?
18th place, Annie Schutz. In 17th place, Sophia Delicio. In place, Jenna Grogan.
Right here, Sophia.
What age group is this?
1 second, but I have a schedule.
In 14th place,
Can you open this? It's
Naya
on the back.
Turner.
Oh, okay, thank you.
13th place, Madeline Madison.
Yes.
12th place, Sydney Meadows.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much, ma'am.
11th place is Lily Strauss. 10th place, Melody Ochana.
How'd you do? I don't know what place I got right. How'd you do?
In 9th place, we have Sydney Lambert. 8th place, Kaylee Perry.
That was awful. I know. It was so cool. Oh, it was so fun. Not that first part. Yeah.
7th place is Abby Schmidt. 6th place, Renee Trout.
Right here, Perry. Caleb.
5th place, Ashlyn Little. In 4th place, Ava Giliana.
Ashley.
In 3rd place, from Indy Cal Striders with the time of 18:01, Jordan Boyer.
Is this a 5K?
Your runner-up with a time of 17:50.58 from Brokaw Blazers, Riley Beach.
Blazers!
And your champion with a time of 17:50.49 from Brokaw Blazers, Olivia Sovereign.
Now for the team standings, and the 15-16 girls, Brokaw Blazers first, Team Kentucky second, Indiana Cal Striders third, 17-18 girls, Brokaw, Louisville Tiger Sharks, and Jinx America. I'd like to welcome everybody to the second race of the day here at Voice of America Park. It's the boys 15 and 16 as well as 17 and 18 race. We run together and scored separately. You can see from behind the starting line, everybody getting lined up. We've got coaches there giving last minute instructions, parents holding warm-ups as people disrobe and get ready for the start of the race. It's a little bit warmer here today than everybody expected, so you got people trying to get Under Armour and other stuff off in anticipation of what is apparently going to be a warmer day today than the weather report said. But first, let's go over the course changes. Here we have the course map. If you notice, you start with the blue big start up in the left-hand corner. Then you run down, but instead of doing that big downwards loop, you kind of cut over to where that red arrow is pointing, and you just kind of go straight there, kind of a small bump down and then a big blue loop around. Instead of doing that bottom section, that's just too soupy, that's going to be cut out of the course, and you can see where the yellow loop is smaller. Instead of doing the yellow loop on the second lap, it'll be two of the blue larger loops, and then around to that yellow part around behind the start to the finish. 5K course, that's going to be our competition course for the day. Now back to the race. Everybody's going through their final warm-ups and run-outs. Have about 150 individuals in this national championship race. have several different teams competing today. We're looking at about 23 teams competing. We'll be going over who all is competing here today, but we're getting ready to start the race here in just a moment. We're here at Voice of America Park. In the southern portion of Ohio. Starting it off with a huge cannon blast. Been doing that for the last several years. Always kind of startles you just a little bit. We're on the line. Poised for the cannon blast, and the cannon blast, and they're off. You can see the inset at the top. We have two camera angles on today's start of the race, the front and the back. We'll be taking you to locations all across the course, and then a finish along with interviews and the awards presentation.
Boys 5K, first lap, race time, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
We're here at the 2-minute 40-second mark of the race. Kind of hear them splatting in the mud. It's already a little bit more chewed up than when the girls ran just 30 short minutes ago. Don't know how many times we're going to be traversing this area, but I'm pretty confident it's most of the day, so really feel sorry for the 13-14 boys that'll be running the last race across this. Of course, we're anticipating a little bit of rain. Hopefully the rain will hold off on the high winds. Some reports that there's high winds as high as 70 miles per hour in Indiana heading this way, so hopefully we can get the races over with before the really bad weather hits. As I mentioned, there's 23 teams competing here today. They're really the teams to look for, the teams that have dominated this over the last decade. Brokaw Blazers, Team Kentucky, Jinx America, also the Accelerators. Some of the top teams to look for here today. Also competing, a new one, Elgin Road Warriors. Of course, the Elgin Sharks have competed in this event for a decade or so, but maybe that's a permutation of the Elgin Sharks, or maybe just a new team from Elgin. Low competing today, Buffalo Chips, Nashville Youth. They've been really active for the last several years. River City. Now we're taking to another portion of the course. We'll be giving you the race time. You can see kind of off to your right is what would have been the yellow section of the course that was eliminated because of the soupy section. We're doing the blue part 2 times. Race time is 6:30.
Race time 6:30.
Not quite the midpoint of the race yet, but we're getting to that point. Other teams, Sharks, the Southern Indiana Running Club, Seashore Striders, they've been active for years, particularly at the younger levels. Indiana Blast, Fisher's Fire, Kentucky Fusion, Belvedere Tornadoes, Body and Training, Indiana Stat. Don't quite know anything about that team. No stats on Indiana Stat. Indiana Cal Striders, Staley Striders, Running Tigers, Sovereign Grace, and the Knights, rounding out our field of 23 different teams competing here today at the 2017 edition of the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship.
Good job, Wyatt. Move it up. Let's go. Let's go.
Held here at Voice of America Park.
Let's go, Garrett.
Obviously, the Brokaw Blazers are a team to look for. One of the top performers to look for is Dereje Himbago. It's a hard name to say, but he was the winner of the 13-14 boys last year in Evansville, Indiana, and he's competing in this race. Dereje nothing but first places this year. He's competed in 5 different events prior to today's running. Competed at the Rattlesnake Run, the Guyman Invite, that's a home meet for him, the Cowboy Jamboree, regionals, and then state in Oklahoma. And in each and every one of these races, Daraje has placed first in the competition. The Cowboy Jamboree had about 2,000 runners in all different events competing, not necessarily in the boys' varsity race. But it's the 81st annual Cowboy Jamboree, and they bill themselves as the hardest cross-country course in America. Don't know if that's factual or not. Haven't been to that course, but it's in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and they've been running that race for 81 years. And Daraje walked away with top honors as well as a state title for his high school team. He's a freshman. He's competing here today along with Brokaw Blazers. He knows what it takes to be a national champion, and see if he can do it on the high school level as he did on the middle school level. Be taking you to the second lap of the course. They're just finishing out the first lap. Here's our top runners. Daraje's in a neat little pack. Looks like Logan, his a teammate, Logan Jiskra, is with him, and Hadley Splector is right in there. All 3 of them going through the mud together as the front pack. Looks like Ethan Thomas might be right around the 4-man. A slew of Team Kentucky coming in. They ought to figure out well in the team score. Looks like Brokaw's the team to beat, with maybe Team Kentucky second right now in the team standings. We'll give you those final results here at the conclusion of the race. A lot of individuals coming through, about 150 runners in this race. 2016, Brokaw Blazers won the 15-16 division with Team Kentucky second and the Accelerators third. Top runners was Josh Rogers with the Accelerators. Kel Carson, Brokaw Blazers second. Hadley Splector from Brokaw Blazers third. That was last year, and Hadley is right in the mix. He's one of the top 3 runners that went through there, so see if he's going to vie for a national championship here in a little bit. In the 17-18 division, last 2 years, 2016 and 2015, in the 17-18 division, Isai Rodriguez, running for Jinx America, was the national champion in the older age group. Jinx America was able to ride that first place into a national title in 2015. And in 2016, last year, they placed third. Brokaw Blazers first, Team Kentucky second. And then behind Jinx America in third was 4th place Seashore Striders. And then a running club that I'm not too familiar with, the Mora Running Club, was 5th last year in the 17-18 division. Isai is graduated out and will not be running today. So it's time for some new faces. We'll be taking you straight on into the finish line from this portion of the second lap of the course. We're in the back section of the course here at Voice of America Park. We'll be taking you just past the starting line into the finish line in just a moment to see who is going to be the new 2017 national champion. And here we go. Runners coming in. Daraje in first place. Hadley Splector, last year's 3rd man, was this year's runner-up. Logan Jiskra, 3rd, and then the 4th person across the line, Ethan Thompson. He's in the 17-18 division, so he'll be the national champ in the 17-18 division. Daraje Himbago, national champ in the 15-16 division. Following up his 13-14 national championship last year in Evansville, Indiana, here at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. See a ton of runners, a lot of blue and red, and a lot of green and black. So looks like Brokaw Blazers are going to figure well into the team score along with Team Kentucky. Maybe a race for that third spot this year. We'll be catching some of our top runners for an interview at the conclusion of the race here at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. As I mentioned previously, Isai Rodriguez was the 17-18 national champion for the past 2 years. This year it looks like it's going to Ethan Thompson, running for Brokaw Blazers, but coming in second last year in the 17-18 division. Clayton Adams and Daniel Mazee from Jinx America was third, and Parker Jones in 2015 was the winner of the 15-16. Have a split screen here. On the left is the race in progress. On the right is a slow motion of Daraje Himbago, the new 15-16-year-old national champion, coming in slow motion there. And then, of course, as you can see, our runners are still coming in. Then we also want to highlight the effort today of Hadley Splector. Hadley was third last year. And on the right in slow motion, you see Hadley coming in, teammate of Daraje Himbago, coming in for his runner-up spot this year at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. Shout out to Hadley. You can see our runners are still coming in. And as we continue our look back, Logan Jiskra Brokaw was our third man in today, 15-16 division. Congratulations to Logan. And while it wasn't a complete 1-4 sweep, because this young man, Ethan Thompson, is actually in the 17-18 division. He is our new national champion, replacing Isai Rodriguez, who had it last year from Jinx America. Congratulations to Ethan Thompson, also running for Brokaw Blazers. Several more runners coming in. We've been able to corral our top 4 finishers, and we'll have a interview with them here in just a moment. We're here at Voice of America Park at the 2017 edition of the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. Great crowd on hand, lots of wonderful vendors, good food, nice apparel, and I wish we could have maybe pan the camera around. Directly in behind the finish is Tent City, and I've never seen so many tents and such elaborate tents and camp areas, but just a really nice team atmosphere at today's meet. And now on to our interviews with our top performers.
Okay, we're here with the top 4 finishers in the boys high school race. Today's champion, Daraje, take me through your race today.
I ran a really great race with these guys, and then that helped me a lot. Javier was covering me like the wind, and then I was like until 2.5 minutes behind him, and then just told me to stay behind him, and then log in, and then Ethan, it was a great race with them.
Hadley, you were the runner-up today. What'd you think about the race today?
I wasn't sure how it was going to go with all the conditions. We thought it was going to be raining, but we didn't expect the wind. But I mean, I knew Jiraje was in it to win it, so I really wanted to kind of save his energy. So I tried to block that mostly. I tried to keep him out of the mud, but I mean, it was all around team effort, got it done.
Well, y'all did excellent. Logan, tell me about your race today.
Well, it was fun. That's everything right now.
Okay.
Great team effort.
Ethan, what school you run for?
I run from E High School.
And where's that at?
Kansas.
And Daraje, where do you go to high school at?
It was Guyman, Oklahoma High School, and it was a great school. And then I've got support from all around the Guyman, and then they helped me a lot, and then to come up here and they paid me all that stuff, and my family and some of my friends, they're just awesome.
So how'd you do in the Oklahoma State meet?
I did pretty good, and we won as a team, and then I got first place too.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
And Hadley, what school you attend?
I go to Yates Center High School, and that's in Yates Center, Kansas.
And Logan?
I go to Shawnee Mission North, which is in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay. So we got, 3 Kansas, 1 Oklahoma in the top 4 today?
Yeah.
Well, great, guys. You did an excellent race. Kind of rough conditions. The weather, we didn't expect it at all to be as warm as it really was today. But definitely muddy. You all make a good photograph with all the mud. Yeah, let's get a close-up on your legs there. We can see all the mud on the legs. You're all just...
so much for the shoes.
Yeah. You're all covered. But congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
In 23rd, Garen Blaylock. 22nd is Ezekiel Hemboy. 21st is Kyle Bell. 20th is Hale Eckert. 19th, Will Hannock. 18th is Keegan Stack. 17th is Landon Casino. And 16th, TJ Robinson. 15th, Liam Neidig.
Liam!
In 14th, Peyton Fairchild.
Way to go, TJ and Liam!
In 13th, John Gula. In 12th, Drake Croft.
Yep, that's him.
11th is Connor O'Shea. 10th place, Corey Nobles. 9th place, Ryan Maynard. 8th place, Austin Cave. In 7th place, Owen Pierce. In 6th place, Jonah Mitchell. 5th place is Christian Parker. 4th place is Reese Gibson. In 3rd place, the time of 15:41 from Brokaw Blazers, Logan Jiskra. In 2nd place, with a time of 15:35 from Brokaw Blazers, Hadley Fletcher. And your champion with a time of 15:34 from Brokaw Blazers, Daraje Himbago.
Now for our team standings. Shout out to the boys 15-16 team champions, Brokaw Blazers in first with Team Kentucky second. In the 17-18 division, Brokaw A and B teams first and second, Team Kentucky third, and Jinx America fourth.